expansion was discussed both at a committee level and at the board, and ultimately the league office was tasked by our board with doing an in-depth analysis of all the issues around expansion, both economic.
The sound of the final buzzer echoing through a sold-out arena usually signals victory, but on this particular night, it felt like the floor collapsed beneath one of the most talked-about rookies in basketball history. With only seconds remaining on the game clock, the ball landed right in the hands of Angel Reese, just inches from the rim, offering a textbook opportunity to seal an epic comeback victory. But as the shot rolled off the rim and bounced away, the entire stadium gasped, setting off a wave of shockwaves that traveled straight from the hardwood to the top offices of professional basketball. Within minutes, social media exploded with highlight clips, stat breakdowns, and relentless critiques, dissecting every millisecond of that final play. What was supposed to be a triumph turned into an instant viral sensation for all the wrong reasons, throwing gasoline on an already burning debate about efficiency, media hype, and execution under pressure. But the real storm wasn't just brewing among toxic internet commenters or hot-take sports analysts sitting in television studios. Whispers began circulating that league executives, including NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, were paying close attention to the unfolding spectacle, recognizing that the league's explosive new popularity came with double-edged scrutiny. When the head of the basketball world effectively implies that hype must be matched by fundamental execution, the message carries a sting that no player can ignore. The fallout from that single missed layup didn't just highlight a mechanical flaw in a young star's game. It exposed the massive gap between raw viral popularity and dominant on-court success during a season where every mistake was being measured against the flawless ascension of Caitlin Clark. The atmosphere surrounding that specific game had been electric long before tip-off, with thousands of fans packed into the stands specifically to witness another chapter in the most intense rookie narrative the league had seen in decades. Angel Reese had built an imposing identity around her raw toughness, relentless energy, and an uncanny ability to pull down double-digit rebounds night after night. But as the game reached its frantic closing moments, the structural flaws in her offensive game were laid bare in front of millions of viewers. A sharp pass penetrated the defense, landing cleanly in Reese's hands right in the deep paint, leaving her with a clear path to the glass. Instead of a smooth, controlled finish, the attempt was rushed, off balance, and slapped hard off the backboard, rolling harmlessly off the front iron into the hands of the opposing team as time expired. The reaction was instantaneous. Opponent players celebrated while Reese stood near the baseline, hands on her hips, staring at the basket in sheer disbelief. Within seconds, clips of the sequence were uploaded to every major social platform, racking up millions of views in a matter of hours. Critics pounced on the clip as proof of a troubling pattern that had lingered throughout her debut season. It wasn't just that she missed a shot, it was the nature of the miss at such a critical junction that transformed a standard game outcome into a massive cultural talking point. Analysts immediately drew up camera angles showing open teammates on the perimeter, questioning her decision-making and offensive polish under extreme pressure. But while the internet turned the moment into a relentless meme, deeper conversations were taking place behind closed doors regarding what this level of viral scrutiny meant for the entire image of the league. To truly understand why that single play sparked such a massive reaction, one has to look closely at the numbers that defined Angel Reese's rookie campaign. Throughout the season, Reese put up staggering rebound totals that broke long-standing league records, demonstrating an unquestionable world-class instinct for tracking the ball off the rim. However, basketball purists and stat geeks quickly pointed out a glaring anomaly in her statistical profile that couldn't be swept under the rug. A substantial percentage of her offensive rebounds were actually off her own missed layups in the paint, leading to what critics labeled padded double-double statistics. Shooting under 40% from the field as a power forward operating almost exclusively inside 5 feet of the basket is statistically unheard of at the professional level. Opposing defensive schemes began backing off, daring her to finish over contest rather than sending double teams, effectively weaponizing her lack of touch against her own team's offense. While her passionate fan base defended her effort and physical presence, mainstream sports broadcasts began openly highlighting her touch around the rim during primetime games. Former professional players turned color commentators didn't hold back, pointing out how her jump shot mechanics and balance were fundamentally lacking for a player receiving superstar levels of publicity. The stark contrast between her immense off-court clout and her struggles with basic finishing created an unprecedented lightning rod for debate. Every missed shot became a trending topic. Every low shooting percentage night was dissected on sports morning shows, and the narrative around her basketball identity began to shift dramatically, from future superstar to flawed project. While Reese was battling through the brutal glare of statistical scrutiny, across the league, Caitlin Clark was orchestrating a basketball revolution that made the contrast even more glaring. Clark didn't just meet the astronomical expectations placed on her shoulders coming out of college. She systematically shattered them, night after night. After a bumpy first few weeks adjusting to the physical speed of the pro game, Clark unlocked an offensive gear that left opposing coaches completely helpless. She was pulling up from the logo with effortless confidence, threading miraculous full-court passes through tiny defensive windows, and breaking the league's single-season assist record as a rookie. Games featuring Clark became national events, drawing record-breaking television ratings and selling out NBA-sized arenas across the country. More importantly, she was winning games and pulling the Indiana Fever out of years of irrelevance straight into the postseason. Every performance seemed to yield another milestone, whether it was dropping historic rookie triple-doubles or sinking clutch step-back threes in the face of double teams. The national sports media, which had initially tried to push a balanced rookie debate, was forced to acknowledge the growing chasm in impact between the two stars. Clark was operating as a complete offensive engine, capable of controlling the tempo of an entire basketball game, while Reese was struggling to maintain efficiency on short-range attempts. The relentless head-to-head comparisons made every mistake by Reese feel twice as loud, because every time Reese missed a layup, Clark was somewhere else hitting a 30-foot dagger to seal another victory. The growing noise around the league eventually reached a point where the highest levels of basketball leadership could no longer stay silent, leading to subtle yet firm public interventions that sent shockwaves through the sport. Adam Silver, who has spent years overseeing the strategic integration and financial backing of the WNBA through the NBA's massive apparatus, found himself navigating a delicate situation. Publicly, league leadership celebrated the skyrocketing ratings, massive gate revenues, and unprecedented fan engagement driven by the rookie class. But behind the scenes, there was growing executive concern over the narrative devolving into chaotic melodrama, non-basketball controversies, and persistent complaints about officiating. When media members pressed Silver during major press conferences about the physical play, the rookie rivalries, and the online toxicity surrounding players, his responses delivered a clear, calculated message. He emphasized that while passionate fan discourse is a hallmark of successful sports entertainment, ultimate respect in professional basketball is earned through product quality, high-level skill, and execution on the floor. While he never singled out a specific player by name, the timing of his comments following a series of high-profile, low-efficiency games and viral blunders felt like a pointed reminder from the ultimate corporate authority. The subtle subtext was clear. The bright lights, national TV slots, and corporate sponsorships were provided because of high-level athletic performance, not just internet drama. For a young player like Reese, who thrived on media attention and strong public messaging, the league executive narrative felt like a cold water splash reality check, reminding everyone that top-tier basketball standards would not be lowered for social media stardom. The drama surrounding the rookies quickly spilled over into national television studios, creating a deep ideological rift among prominent sports broadcasters and former athletes. On one side, veteran analysts argued that the media was being overly harsh on Reese, pointing out that learning to finish against bigger, stronger professional defenders takes time for any young front-court player. They highlighted her undeniable tenacity, her record-breaking rebounding runs, and the immense marketing power she brought to a league that desperately needed personality and edge. On the other side, prominent pundits refused to sugarcoat what the film was clearly showing day in and day out. They argued that celebrating historical double-doubles while turning a blind eye to 40% shooting from 2 feet away was a disservice to the integrity of the game. High-profile disputes erupted on debate shows, with commentators raising their voices over whether Reese was being unfairly targeted because of her bold, villain-leaning persona, or if she was simply receiving the exact same critique any inefficient male athlete would face under similar spotlight. Figures like Sheryl Swoopes added fuel to the fire by completely downplaying Clark's historic achievements on podcasts, sparking furious pushback from other media personalities like Stephen A. Smith, who accused veteran legends of petty jealousy toward the new wave of stars. The constant media warfare ensured that every possession, every missed shot, and every post-game press conference soundbite was amplified 10 times over, creating a high-stress environment where every game felt like a career-defining trial. Rather than retreating from the noise or laying low while working on her jump shot, Angel Reese chose to lean directly into the chaotic energy surrounding her brand. She launched her own podcast, Unapologetically Angel, creating a direct line of communication to her millions of followers without the filter of traditional sports networks. On her show, she didn't shy away from addressing the backlash, openly admitting that she accepted being cast as the villain in the grand narrative of women's basketball. She argued that the negative attention didn't bother her, claiming that whether people were tuning in to root for her or to pray for her downfall, they were still buying tickets and boosting viewership numbers. Reese repeatedly emphasized that her impact extended far beyond a box score, pointing to her multi-million-dollar endorsement portfolio, her high-fashion appearances, and her role in bringing a whole new demographic of casual fans into the sport. However, this defensive posture drew mixed reactions from hardcore basketball fans and old-school analysts. While her dedicated followers celebrated her unapologetic authenticity and refusal to bow to public pressure, critics viewed it as a distraction from the fundamental work needed on the court. To them, recording podcast episodes talking about internet hate while shooting historically low percentages from the paint suggested a disconnect in priorities. The tension between being a full-time content creator-influencer and an elite professional athlete fighting for championship credibility became the central theme of her early career. Behind all the viral arguments, missed shots, and executive press conferences lay an undeniable financial truth. The clash between these two contrasting stars had completely altered the economic trajectory of women's professional sports overnight. Arena attendance figures smashed every historic marker, with secondary market ticket prices for games involving Reese and Clark rivaling major NBA matchups. Television networks recorded multi-100% increases in viewership, prompting long-overdue shifts in broadcasting schedules to place NBA games in prime Sunday afternoon slots on major network television. This sudden influx of cultural attention and revenue laid the groundwork for massive structural upgrades across the league, including the long-awaited implementation of full-season charter flights for all teams, vastly improved training facilities, and vastly higher salary caps on the horizon. The league negotiated a landmark multi-billion-dollar media rights deal that guaranteed long-term financial security and explosive growth for the next generation of players. Executives like Adam Silver and WNBA leadership, despite any private concerns over player efficiency or internet drama, recognized that this rookie class had unlocked an unprecedented economic goldmine. The missed layups, the internet battles, the sharp hot takes, and the intense player rivalries were all part of the chaotic engine driving this financial renaissance. The sport had finally achieved the level of intense, tribal fan engagement that defines major global sports leagues, where every single play matters, every flaw is magnified, and every superstar is under constant pressure to deliver. When the dust finally settled on this wild season, the stark reality of modern sports stardom was left fully exposed for everyone to see. The image of that late-game missed layup remained etched in the minds of critics, serving as a permanent reminder that viral fame and personality can open the door, but ultimate athletic legitimacy is decided purely by performance under pressure. Angel Reese demonstrated elite historic traits as a rebounder and a cultural force, but the relentless spotlight proved that top-level professional sports offer no hiding places for raw or incomplete skill sets. On the flip side, Caitlin Clark's transcendent play proved that true generational impact comes from elevating the entire game, turning high expectations into historic reality night after night. As league executives look to the future, they know that the delicate balance between high-stakes entertainment and pure athletic excellence will continue to dictate the sport's destiny. The missed shots will eventually fade from immediate memory, replaced by new games, new records, and new playoff battles. But the lessons learned during this explosive chapter will reverberate for years to come. In a world where every play is dissected by millions within seconds, the ultimate question remains: can a young star take the harsh humiliation of a primetime failure and transform it into the fuel needed to become a truly complete champion? Or will the weight of relentless expectation forever define their narrative? The sound of the final buzzer echoing through a sold-out arena usually signals victory, but on this particular night, it felt like the floor collapsed beneath one of the most talked-about rookies in basketball history. With only seconds remaining on the game clock, the ball landed right in the hands of Angel Reese, just inches from the rim, offering a textbook opportunity to seal an epic comeback victory. But as the shot rolled off the rim and bounced away, the entire stadium gasped, setting off a wave of shockwaves that traveled straight from the hardwood to the top offices of professional basketball. Within minutes, social media exploded with highlight clips, stat breakdowns, and relentless critiques, dissecting every millisecond of that final play. What was supposed to be a triumph turned into an instant viral sensation for all the wrong reasons, throwing gasoline on an already burning debate about efficiency, media hype, and execution under pressure. But the real storm wasn't just brewing among toxic internet commenters or hot-take sports analysts sitting in television studios. Whispers began circulating that league executives, including NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, were paying close attention to the unfolding spectacle, recognizing that the league's explosive new popularity came with double-edged scrutiny. When the head of the basketball world effectively implies that hype must be matched by fundamental execution, the message carries a sting that no player can ignore. The fallout from that single missed layup didn't just highlight a mechanical flaw in a young star's game. It exposed the massive gap between raw viral popularity and dominant on-court success during a season where every mistake was being measured against the flawless ascension of Caitlin Clark. The atmosphere surrounding that specific game had been electric long before tip-off, with thousands of fans packed into the stands specifically to witness another chapter in the most intense rookie narrative the league had seen in decades. Angel Reese had built an imposing identity around her raw toughness, relentless energy,